Yeah.
Tell us how you got the news, and is it something that you were expecting?
Yeah, I got the news from Dan and Coach. They called me and let me know that I made it in there, and it was exciting. And yeah, I was expecting it. I feel like I've been playing pretty good this year. So it's a blessing.
What did Dad say,
He was excited. He was excited about it. But he just told me to stay focused on being in here and trying to get to the playoffs, trying to get to the dance, and just staying focused. The main message from him.
for these rookies that you guys that have been instrumental to this team, what have you seen the rookies doing that's been really helping this team out this year?
Really just growing up fast. Just seeing them from week one to now. It's like two different players, like all of them, like Lathan, Princely, Nick. They all growing real fast, and they was kind of forced to be in that position. But it's cool to see them learning on the run and going out there and translating it to Sundays, making plays.
I hear through your first couple of seasons you battled some injuries and things like that. And you're a little underrated by national media. Does that add any sweetness to being named to this Pro Bowl for the second consecutive year?
Oh yeah, a little bit, just because people talk. It was due. I was getting hurt a lot, so I understood it. But at the same time, just trying to stay confident in my abilities and just knowing who I am. I felt like I was always one of the best corners in this league. It was just having an opportunity to be out there and be healthy. I feel like I've been healthy the last 2 years, and these are the results I'm getting. So I'm just trying to keep going, keep getting better.
I know it's coaches, players, and fans, but you actually led the fan vote for all corners in the NFL. Does that make it a little sweeter, or what is it like hearing that?
Nah, not really. I mean, fan votes. I mean, I know last year we was voting like the guys with the most picks are at the top of the ballot, so I chalked it up to that. Like maybe they just see me first, see I got 5 picks and vote for me. But it's better. Like last year when I wasn't really top 10 in the fan votes and getting an appreciation from the coaches and players, that felt a little better. But it's cool to make it regardless either way.
Flip side, Derek did not get the votes
Yeah.
from the players and the coaches. Like when you found out about that, was that surprising to you?
Yeah, super surprising. Because right after I got done talking to Dan and Coach, he had texted me like, "You made it in the Pro Bowl." So I thought they had just talked to him, and I thought he made it. And then to find out he didn't, it was upsetting because we all know what type of player he is. You just look at our defense last year, being one of the worst in the league, and him coming back, and now it's changed. We playing so much better. It's not a coincidence because he back and he helping, and I think this might be the most sacks he done had in his career. He been balling, so I don't know. It's always guys every year that get snubbed and you don't really understand it. But it's unfortunate it had to be him. But I know he gonna keep balling and go get that All Pro.
JC, you talked about your personal resiliency. Does that help you as a leader? In seasons past, if you guys have lost a game, sometimes the team goes on to lose 3, 4, 5, but you guys have routinely been able to turn the page, step it up, and completely do an about face that following week. Do you feel like the early adversity you had in your career has helped you as a leader during those times?
Nah, definitely. Like you said back then, losing games, going on long losing streaks, you learn how to, you got to look past that and get back to work because you still got to go out there and play at 1 o'clock the next Sunday. And I feel like that's a mentality this team has. Guys like me and Derek going through that. We know how to get back on Monday, win, lose, or draw, and just focus on dominating that day and lead to success the next week. So I feel like it definitely helped shape us for where we are now.
Jaycee, talk about the itch to get, regardless of the opponent, but to get some back-to-back wins for this team. Talk about that for you.
I mean, for us, it's just trying to win. It's been up and down, but that don't matter. We in the position we in now. And it's not necessarily like we focus on winning back to back. We just trying to win every game. Like I said, we in the position we in now, and we just got to focus on winning this thing from here on out.
It seems like teams are avoiding you altogether. I saw a stat where Tampa Bay didn't really even target receivers we were like. Do you look at that as a compliment?
I really don't pay attention to none of it. I just try to go out there and do my job, to the best of my ability. If I get targeted, I try to take the ball away and get ball production. If I don't get targeted, I try to affect the game in other ways, tackling, communicating, still trying to be present in the game. So yeah, just taking everything one day at a time and trying to lead it to wins.
Do you ever get bored here in a game like that? Like, how do you have to keep yourself mentally engaged?
Nah, I mean that game was close, so I ain't really get bored. You learn, like I kind of went through that a little bit in college, not getting targeted as much. And you learn you still got to be ready because, I didn't got popped before, being on the sideline, playing around or not as focused. I remember we played Vanderbilt, and they popped me like that with a guy. I can't even tell you his name right now. But so as a corner, you just always got to stay locked in and ready for the opportunity.
When you've got the number one receiver in the NFL coming in this Sunday, how much more does that keep you locked in, and what is that challenge?
It's the same focus for me. Every week, just trying to, do our job to the best of our ability, no matter who coming in. He a great receiver, and we done seen a lot of great receivers this year, and it's just about going out there and executing.
What do you see on tape for him, though? He's kind of having a breakout season. What is it on tape that's allowed him to kind of, have the success he's been having this season?
He got everything. He got great hands, great ball skills, good after the catch. So, all those things. I think it didn't help him all throughout the year. Like, that's another guy, like I said, seeing where he was day one, coming into OTAs or wherever. Like, me and Mike talked, I'm like, man, he needed a little bit more work doing this, doing that. And by the time fall camp ended, he had all of it down. Like, he one of those guys that learn real fast. So, I got confidence in him match up on anybody on the perimeter one-on-one.
Jaycee, as somebody that was here with Sam and has now been watching him on tape and in games, like, what is it in his game that he's found that has kind of helped him go to this next level? How different is he playing?
I think, Sam always had some of the best, accuracy and, all the intangibles that made him a first-round pick. And I think, maybe, I don't know what it is, maybe the coaches he didn't got over the past few years or him just seeing the game different has helped him play better. But, yeah, he a good guy, good quarterback.
What do you think of the new Pro Bowl format? Do you like that it's kind of surrounded and pocketed right before the Super Bowl instead of a separate week?
Not really, because, every time I go down to wherever the Super Bowl at, like for marketing or work or whatever, I always leave before the Super Bowl because it's just hella packed. So I can only imagine now the Pro Bowl being out there is going to be even more packed. But, it's going to be fun.